Hello everybody, this is Caleb Spinner with the Mechanicsburg Indians Broadcasting Network here tonight at Mixins Fixins Country Restaurant in downtown Mechanicsburg. We're really excited to have head coach of the basketball team, Michael Cantrell, with us, and coming off of a really good practice, but tired as well, I think, as you said at the beginning of this.
Oh yeah, basketball's a long season, but it's definitely worth it in the end. Every day you come home, you feel accomplished every day because you get these kids and better every day when you get to work with them and teach them as much as we do. It's definitely worth it, but it does get a little tiring here and there.
Well, we touched on it a little bit before. You've got a big game coming up on Friday against West Lib. What's going to be the deciding factor in that game?
Whether we can handle the basketball is the first thing. If we can go slow and at our pace, slow and strong is what we've been preaching from the beginning. Because sometimes kids usually tend to like to go fast, and that's what kind of made us lose it there at the end against them up there in the first part of the year, is that they sped us up, made us into bad decisions, and really took it to us.
West Lib is one of those teams that kind of combines the two aspects of basketball. They've got some short and quick guards, and then some big guys, like, from what I remember, Trevor Burden, one of those guys you just feed in the post and he feasts all day long.
Yeah, Burden's a good player, and so is McGill. I think he's a sophomore center, or he's either sophomore or junior. They're very junior heavy, but they got a good mix of guard play on top of the inside game. And that's one thing that really helps us, is that we have very good interior defense, and we just got to be able to get out and guard the ball and keep it in front of us, and I think that's going to really help. And also gapping hard on their drivers, because they like to drive and they dish out a lot. So if we can contain them to outside shots, I think we're going to be okay.
You've had a bigger connection with some of these kids before. You coached them in elementary school and now up at the high school level. What does that mean to you now to finally be back here at the school?
It means a lot. You see the growth that they've made as just human beings in general, and seeing where they started and see where they could end up. I mean, for the seniors that I have now, Chris, CJ, and Joey, I had those kids in 4th and 5th grade, and so it's kind of nice seeing them out the way that it was where I had started them. They've all made a lot of growth. They're great human beings. I mean, they're great men. And that was my goal coming in, is make sure they leave me a better person than when I got them.
A little bit of a tough question here. If you had to describe this season in one word, what word would you pick?
Good question. I would have to go with resurgence. As many people may know, we were struggling. We've struggled in the past, and we're going to have struggles. I mean, that we always go with bumps and bruises here and there.
Every good team has their struggles.
Absolutely. And I've told everyone in the beginning, we're going to look really good some days, and then some days it's going to wow, that was a rough one. And when we went to West Liberty last time, that was a rough one, simply because of our youth and our lack of experience. But I like where we are. But the resurgence part is these kids believing and buying into what I want, and understand that we do it for each other, and then the toughness, and then the skill doesn't have to be there, but if we are mindful of that, if we take care of the basketball and we defend and we're tough and we fight like crazy every day, we have a shot in every game.
One of your freshmen, Jake Edwards, now has a starting spot. We've nicknamed him the freshman phenom at M.I.B.N. He's worked his way up to now the starting role as a freshman. What do you think he'll be able to bring, and how do you think his game will develop over the next 3 years you have with him?
Jake is a very, very good athlete. He's got very limited basketball experience, and you could not tell that going in.
No, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So he started playing a little less than 2 years ago. When I first met him over the summer, I walked in and I was expecting just some little 8th grader going to be a freshman. He walks in and he's in there shooting and already got a workout in before I even got up there. And instantly I saw the work ethic that he had, and his willingness to learn and get better is just, it's excellent. His work ethic is tremendous. And he's a great kid too. And he is a freshman. I got to remind myself that all the time. But now he's not. He's going to be a sophomore. But he has so much room for growth and potential. He will be our point guard the next 3 years. And I have reassured him that, because he's bought into what I want. He's tough. He can handle it. He's a great kid. He has skill, but overall, he works well with what I want. He really understands what I want. So I'm really happy to see that.
We're going to take a break from the actual questions, implement a new segment we have. It's called 30 Seconds. I know you've probably heard of it before. A lot of pro teams have done it. But you're going to have 30 seconds to answer as many of these questions as you can.
All right, here we go.
We're going to do a little bit of rapid fire.
Okay.
Going on here. So, all right. So 3, 2, 1. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite pro sports team?
Yankees.
Hot dog or hamburger?
Hot dog.
Favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Nike or Under Armour?
Nike.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Dream job other than a coach?
Thank you. Astronaut. We'll go with astronaut.
Favorite U.S. city?
Chicago.
And time travel or flight?
Flight.
All right. There you go. That was
Yeah.
on the spot.
Oh, wow. That was
On the
good.
spot answers
I like
right
that.
there. But sometimes shorter time you get to answer it, the more honest they are.
Oh, yeah. No, the career got me because I really haven't won anything besides be a teacher. So
Well, that's when you know you've picked the right thing, is when
That's
you can't
right.
think of anything else you want to be.
that's right. That's right. It's a good time.
So, getting back to our Friday game, that's the senior night, the last home game for Dingy, Muscadry, and Taylor. 3 of the biggest players that have played in recent years from the Mechanicsburg Indians. What is losing them going to do to the team going forward, if anything? I mean,
Losing players like Chris, Joey, and CJ, they're going to be hard to replace, but it's not going to make it impossible. What's going to be good is that there's freshmen coming up knowing the expectations of what I want, how I want things done, and with the middle school program being consistent with the expectations and how things should be ran. So it's going to be a well-oiled machine. Not yet though.
right.
So the consistency of what I want will help flow within the kids that come into the high school program, but from 4th grade to 12th grade, they're all being taught the same fundamental things. So the kids coming in next year, they're going to be behind, but the kids that are already there know the expectations that we'll have 6 returners from varsity next year, and that's going to be a blessing to understand what's expected rather than going in and showing a completely new system like I did this year. But Chris can score. That's one thing we're going to really miss with him. His just ability to take over like he did in last night's game against Emmanuel. He got 12 in the 4th when we really need baskets. And Joey, his charisma, his work ethic, his ability to get to the rim, his vision of the court, and just the way he guards, it's a blessing to have. But unfortunately, I'm for a year, and then CJ's been out, so we really haven't been able to see much out of him.
Right. But
I knew going in he had a good offseason. Unfortunately, he's been plagued by injuries.
Yeah.
So, but those 3, they're wonderful kids, and I've had them before, and I'm just glad that I was the one that was able to send them out.
Well, Derek Rose was plagued with injuries, and now look at him. He's having one of the best seasons of his career right now.
I'm a huge Rose fan, and I'll root for him until he's done. I love the way he plays.
What is this team capable of, do you think? In best case scenario, you win out, play Rushi in the tournament draw, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
If they keep on winning, where do you think this team will end up this season?
Our ultimate goal is always to make it to UD, to the districts. And you have to beat a good team to get out of the sectional. And so playing Rushi right off the rip is definitely going to be a challenge, but it's not going to be it's not impossible. By the way our kids are playing, and they're starting to believe what it takes to win, and they're starting to really see the results. I mean, we've beat some good teams, we've lost to some good teams, but that inconsistency in the beginning was expected. But now I think we're kind of in a flow to where we are hitting our peak at the right time of the season. So best case scenario, I would love to make it to UD Arena. That's the ultimate goal every year. And this team, we have a good road. If we beat Rushi, we have a really good chance.
So, final question, touching back once again on Friday's game. Last time you played the Tigers, wasn't really a close game, but not impossible either. There was just a couple stints where the Tigers just scored and got you out on your heels, and then delivered a knockout blow.
Right.
How big is it? Number one, how big is it going now that you'll be able to play them at home in front of your home crowd, home fans? And number two, what things do you need to do to beat them? I know we touched on it at the beginning, but still, how do you slay a tiger?
The way it's unfortunate because they lost one of their best players in Laughing, but they're still a very good team. Darren does a good job over there with them. But they caught us at the beginning of the season, before Christmas, back before we really understood what it takes to win with this team. West Liberty really sped us up. And they sped us up into making some bad decisions, bad shots, which turned into layups for them. And then we just didn't defend as well as we should. We definitely changed up some defensive philosophies since then to prepare us for a game like this and for the sectional. But being able to take good shots, be patient offensively, and just play your ever-living guts out for each other, and that's what it's been for. The kids can't believe they can do it, but if they go out there and just play hard and they play smart, strong, and slow, I really like our chances. Because we were the polar opposite, because we wanted to get out and run at the beginning of the season. Well, we're not. That doesn't fit our team, and so I think we've molded and adjusted a lot since then to make our system work better for our personnel.
Well, there you go. Let's see if practice makes perfect, right?
All right, we'll see. I like what I'm seeing so far, but Friday is going to be fun. You don't get a small-town rivalry like this, and it's senior night, so it's going to be emotional. I'm really excited to see our kids go out and compete.
And obviously we want as many people there as possible, but
absolutely,
if you can't make it, we will have coverage of that on the M.I.B.N. at YouTube, coverage of the JV game at 6 and the varsity game at 7:30, as well as some senior nights. I believe that's before the varsity. We will have the camera rolling, so grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, nephews, brothers, the whole 9 yards will be able to see Chris, Joey, and CJ in their final night at home. Make sure to watch some of our other Order Up interviews with coaches. This has been a great interview, and we thank Coach Cantrell for coming down here and being with us. Make sure to watch the Coach Vorst, Forrest, and Montoya and Lee videos at Order Up, some here and somewhere at Pizza Alley. And make sure to tune into our broadcast on Friday, live from Mechanicsburg Arena.
All right.
Coach, this has been great having you. Thanks for coming down.
Absolutely. Thanks, Caleb.
For Caleb Spinner on the M.I.B.N., that's the game. I'm out of here.